Hello guys, great to see you again. Welcome back, and we are on the next installment of this series. Okay, I think I can make him wear a long sleeve shirt, and maybe I will, but I actually think he looks pretty business right now. Not like the CEO or anything like that. Like a standard employee business level. So I'm gonna leave him like that. His shoes actually really fit too. So we're gonna do that for now. His awkward expression will definitely come in play, but not quite yet. This is another reason I chose this to base it off of, because toggling to our other screen, we know that he gets pretty nervous later. So now we want to look at our woman over here. What do we want to do with her? For one, she's actually like pretty stood up, but there's definitely some things that need to change. Her dress was angled in a way that worked when she was sort of sitting down, and I'm wondering if she should even wear a dress. Okay, might look weird. She's got no body. Does look weird, but hopefully not for too long. I'm gonna start by freestyling it. I'm thinking of giving her like this kind of pencil skirt. I'm going for stereotypes. This is kind of the main point of like with comics. I think I've discussed this before. We're like, you've got 4 squares and you're trying to communicate like a general topic, theme, whatever, in a pretty short amount of time. Let's make it like a dark navy thing. Reminds me of my old school uniforms. A high-waisted kind of skirt vibe. Oh, see what I did there, guys? I connected the points. And that, again, as you could probably imagine, can be useful in some cases, can be unuseful in other cases. Like I just kindly demonstrated for you. Now I'm gonna keep recording. I may just kind of fast forward because I do want you guys to see the whole thing, but like in a length shorter than the Snyder cut. I know I've been going a bit rogue, but I will return now to the design language we've been using, which is she's really made shapes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the neckline. Yeah, I think it works better. But I'm gonna do that better. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go give her a bit of a V neckline instead. We're going to copy her skin color. We're gonna mess with the points. So this time, what I did is I pulled this little circle which rounds the edges. If you've done what I did before and kind of made it a bit skewy, that can help make it look a little more organic. I've done a square. I'm gonna make it come in a little bit for her waist. That's it. There we go. I think that will work for now. In color coding, blues supposed to be quite calming. Sky blues, not electric blues. I like that. They look different. They look like they're in a professional setting. And yeah, go around her little V. That's what I need to. It's different than his, as you guys know. fella, I just have like the literal shapes of it. And her is literally just a line. Copy and paste. Transform and reflect. And I'm gonna tweak that. Rotation a little bit. Cool. Now, let's just compare these side by side. She's not gonna have bright pink shoes, even though they're fabulous color. They are. She's gonna have like just black shoes. And her place of work does not have the high heel policy. So we're not gonna have high heels. So if we should have, if this like the staff kind of room, have like casual table, maybe a coffee machine. But first I want to get onto the bulkier stuff. And I like this kind of gonna be this workplace because some of this sexist talk and experiences we hear happen in the workplace. So it's cool to switch it up. And I mean, it could have been anywhere. It could have been a park, it could have been a house, but I like this. We haven't actually done a work-based one yet. I am so sick. Okay, and now let's align their expressions with what's going on. The first one saying, I am so sick of all this violence towards women. Not women. Women. So I'm gonna take her arm like out and maybe even swivel her forearm like pointed towards the thing. And maybe her other arm, because right now it's kind of docile, it's kind of chilling. And she's angry, frustrated. So we need that to reflect in her body language as well as her speech. I'm not gonna be cheeky and show you guys like bad habits. Okay, I will, but I'm gonna like tell you that it's a bad habit. Does that still count as a bad habit? So what I'm gonna do is this. Now, I'll tell you why I'm doing this and you won't necessarily have to. As you see, like people are grouped and a bunch of their like, you know, members are grouped and that can get sticky after a while. Yeah, I shouldn't have really done that, but I did, so I'm sorry. Okay, and like I said, I'm putting a lot of time here because it's like the first one. It's important for me to get it right. So I've moved that over a little bit. Gonna put her arm up a fraction. And this is why I usually don't necessarily put them all around. That didn't make any sense. What I mean is, this is why I don't always group them or merge them, more importantly, because after, if I make, you know, her forearm and her upper arm one shape, it makes it really hard for me to do things like this, which is basically to edit it in a way where I can change the body language of the characters pretty easily. And now I'm going to change their expressions. So let's remember, this woman is not happy. She's seen this news report about increased violence towards women. Right now, because she's got a smile. And that's why all these are so important, all these details. She looks like really scheming and like wicked. So we have to change some of this. and I'm just playing it by ear. We don't want this anymore. See, now she looks different. We don't see the eyebrows, and we see some of that gone. So she could look mad still, but we need it to be more like this. Maybe. Maybe not. I usually just do it by trial and error. She does look really mad. Would it even work like this? I think that works better. She looks fed up now. And now we want a little subtext, because as we see in our screenshot, it's kind of like he's just saying like, yeah, I totally agree. But we're not really sure because of here, his response after, how much he's actually really bothered about this topic. So I'm going to try and reflect that in his attitude. So we want him to be kind of less bothered, visibly less bothered, which like would make sense in the situation as well. So I'm gonna make his eyelids a lot less reactive or suggestive of anything. Might even make him like distracted. And I'm just gonna count how many kind of speech bubbles we want. He won't be speaking, but what he will be doing is like looking at his phone. Because this is a comic, not an animation or something like that. We won't have anything particularly on the phone. Because you could play into it in so many levels. It could just be watching like boxing or something, and we can make like a little nod about like how there's so much violence just casually embedded in society. But we won't do that, because we won't do that because it is just a 4-part comic. As you guys see, I mean, I'm definitely trying to be a little more meticulous so we can, you know, show this for the purpose of going through it step by step. But even 4-part comics can take a bit of time. I mean, she's mad. He's completely out of it in his own world. We should just add to a bit of the humor. Make her nose like bigger, because she's got so many other lines on her face that are doing a lot. Would just stand out. I made it 4-point, and sometimes I do this. You'll see some of them have different points, but they do need a match. Now, increase violence towards women. Okay, so that part is pretty on the nose, but it's kind of like, it's all right. I'm gonna bring this back in, and we want this to be less like homely is the word, I think. We want it to be more work-like, so I'm gonna have like this like coffee jug, you know. Now, I haven't worked in an office in a long time. Remember the last office I worked in, they had like a hot chocolate machine, and you can always get free drinks from there. And I did not take that for granted. So we're just gonna have like a coffee machine. Yeah. Send this to the back. See the shortcut for that. Just make it a generic looking back machine. Maybe there's boxes. I didn't hold shift there because I kind of want to, you know, do stuff with it. Personally, I do not know what a coffee machine should look like. I actually really don't like coffee very much at all. Although, Americans, I did try a tea latte, and it was beautiful. So I never had a tea latte when I was in England, but I had one the other day, and I loved it. And I saw a box of these sort of tea lattes because I like my tea. I like my teas. I do try lots of herbal ones, and I don't mind having them without the trimmings. But I like a bit of sugar. I like some milk and cream when available. So the tea latte is essentially that, right? Sorry, got like sugar and milk added. And this one I got has like some vanilla in it. It's like, I could get behind this. Okay, this is, I'm sure, not what a coffee machine should look like. Like at all. So it looks more like a beer to me. You know? So I'm just gonna give it like a handle. I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna do that. Still on the brown, doesn't matter. We're gonna eyedrop this. We're gonna copy it. We're gonna shrink it by holding shift to keep some of its form. Then I'm gonna select them both, and we're gonna cut away part of it. We're gonna give it this handle. I'm thinking it should have like some sort of handle. We're gonna put it behind a little bit. And we're gonna like do this, like have it like plugged into the wall, because that's what electronics do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna give it a 5-point. We're gonna bring this to front and make sure wires aren't sticking out where they shouldn't. We're gonna put a little socket thing, also adding to the workplace aesthetic. Not before we give it a bit of color. We're gonna do those two little lines you guys have going on, and your plugs. Okay, what I'm gonna do is measure them up, make them a family, copy them and paste them. So actually now what do I want? I actually want this up front instead, so I can like proceed. So what I did here, guys, is I'm like lengthening it physically instead of just like extending the line. And I'm just gonna instead have its end like covered. So I did realize I didn't actually need that plug there, but I mean, here we are. I'm gonna reverse it, it's plugged in. I think this could be more narrow because it looks a bit off. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, just to hone in this sort of workplace thing, is I'm gonna do this. Gonna merge those together. Gonna make these tiny little cups. Actually, before I merge it, I think I'm gonna change it a little bit. Again, completely unnecessary details, but details you can make if you want. Now I'm eyedropping the opacity here, not really dropping the color because we already have that color. And I'm just making cutesy little handle instead. There we go. Now I'm gonna make them one. And now I'm gonna shrink them. This is what we got. Last thing we're gonna do is change some of these little things. There's literally no need, but also, why not? She was blonde before. Let's make her have like easily hair. See, and that's just as simple as changing color. And now that I have a color, I'm gonna select everything else I want. I'm gonna try this sort of thing. Not that sort of thing, guys, but this sort of thing. Yeah, why not? Now we'll do it properly. So I'm gonna give her a bit of a ponytail. Why not? Cool. And I'm so sick of all this violence towards women. She's saying that. He's like, you know, not even on her wavelength at all. And then we're gonna proceed. So, guys, this is gonna be, I don't know what part this is, but guys, thanks for joining. We're gonna proceed to just go through this comic. And this is like the in-depth detail version. And I would love to hear your feedback on if you've found it helpful for me to do it like this. Have you found it of more use for me to literally talk through every single thing? This is a higher detail version than I have previously done. So let me know in the comments and I will speak to you guys next time. But in the meantime, let's just keep creating and exploring. If you like any of the videos that you've seen or you're interested to see what I'll be doing next, please subscribe.